We have now reached Ksenia Svetlova. She is a former member of the Knesset and is now the executive director of ROPES, an organization that builds connections between Israelis and Palestinians and their emerging leaders. She's also a senior research fellow for the Atlantic Council. Ms. Svetlova, thank you so much for making time for us today.
Thank you.
You are a former politician, and I wonder, as both an Israeli and a former Israeli representative in the Knesset, when the horror scenes were unfolding on Saturday 2 weeks ago, what was going through your mind?
Well, I can tell you that it was the most dark moment for a long time, at least since the beginning of the Second Intifada, when we just saw in front of our eyes the unbelievable horror, violence, and this understanding that there will be more blood, that there will be more bloodshed, and dark days are ahead of us, a lot of dark days, perhaps the most dangerous moment for Israel in a very long while.
What do you make of how the Israeli government and the Israeli military has responded so far?
Well, there is undoubtedly a failure on every possible level of the government and also of the Israeli army to handle this crisis, to prevent, first of all, this crisis. Hamas is a terrorist organization. For years, the governments of Benjamin Netanyahu had this conception that they try to contain Hamas, they try to adapt to living alongside with Hamas, and they brought us to where we are today. And I'm very upset. I believe that this government is illegitimate and it should go. It should resign. It's very clear. Many Israelis feel it. I think that the vast majority understand that, there is just no other way. We cannot now, when we are in the such a hot state, and we have to win this battle against this horrific wave of terror that hit Israel with the same government to lead us to this disaster.
I just want to offer a bit of context for folks at home that may not be following events as closely. You're absolutely right. Up until these recent, incredibly violent incidents that took place, Israel was really in a state of uncertainty because there have been so many ongoing protests against the current government right now. So I'm just offering that in case people are wondering, well, why does this government have to go? There have been protests for months and months and months against Prime Minister Netanyahu. But I want to return to the crisis at hand that we're talking about, and specifically this looming sense of a ground invasion that's about to come. And at the same time, we've got little specks of hope. Aid is moving into Gaza and hostages are being released. Do you think these things might prevent or at least delay a ground offensive?
The ground offensive is taking time, and the issue of the hostages is certainly it's one of the most important ones. It's part of the consideration of when to start the ground offensive. I know that everybody is hoping to release the civilians, at least the little babies, the women, the elderly that were kidnapped by Hamas terrorists from Gaza before it starts. At the same time, we have to understand that this is a terrorist organization that we are dealing with. And they will be cynically using these people in order to try and to get their way around, to prepare much better for what it will be coming. There is no way around it. Israel is doing right now what perhaps it should be doing some 10 years ago, and actually relieve both Israelis and Palestinians, who some of them at least are quite hostages also to Hamas. So hostages is part of this, but there is also the issue of preparation to what is, in my opinion, it's one of the most difficult military operations for Israel. I think that maybe since 73, since the war of Yom Kippur, the October War, I don't think that we experienced something of this scale in the warfare, and that's why this is taking time. This kind of preparations, are essential. Israel waited for 14 years. It really did not rush into any ground operation into Gaza, whatever its critics might say today. And right now, nothing happens if, it will take another week or 2 or 3. At this time, also, the countries that are involved, foreign countries, will be pressing Hamas for the release of the hostages. Israel will prepare better, and it will, do it at the time when it's most suitable and to achieve the most of the goals.
As we mentioned in your introduction, Ms. Svetlova, that you are part of a movement that is building bridges between Israelis and Palestinians. You're looking for emerging leaders. You're actively working towards coexistence and peace in the region. Where is that movement today in compared to 15 days ago?
Well, first of all, I have to tell with great sorrow that many great programs that were established specifically for Israelis, Palestinians, and also Arab leaders from across the region who, of course, enhance coexistence and dialogue, they were cancelled abruptly, and many of them were postponed, and we don't know when they will resume. Our network is bleeding. Our network hurts. I think it's much more difficult for the peacemakers because we do know people from both sides. The innocent people, yes, who are suffering today, the families of the hostages, those who lost their loved ones in bombings and so on. But we have to be very, very clear. The only way to promote peace is dialogue. It's not through the atrocities, not through terror. And what, again, we will say it during all of these years, only by reaching out, only by dialogue, by negotiations, we can establish a better Middle East for us and for our children for tomorrow. Today, the war is ongoing. There is no way to stop it. It happened. And again, since there's October 7th, I'm looking at Gaza and I'm saying, well, all of these people, they could live today, if not for this horrific terrorist attack of Hamas against the Gaza Strip. So the Israelis certainly deserve better. The Palestinians certainly deserve better. And, it's hard to envisage the tomorrow when we are bleeding today, but tomorrow will come and we will still need to talk to each other. We're absolutely confident about that.
Ksenia Svetlova, there's so much more I want to ask you, but we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope we can speak with you again.
Thank you so much.